And we're live. Good afternoon. If you are joining us this afternoon, welcome to one of the wealthiest conversations you'll ever join.
I agree.
Today, myself, Dr. Dineo, and Tim are yet on another wealthy conversation. We're taking the time to just explore and chat to each other more about our personal lives, just so we can get some familiarity with you guys and just so you guys get to understand who we are, the people behind Wealthy. So, Tim, thank you so much for availing yourself for today.
Always, Dr. Dineo. Pleasure. Wonderful to be here.
Okay, awesome. So let me quickly introduce Tim Wagner, which he had to teach me how to pronounce. is the founder is a founder oh no the founder of Professional Pointer Coaching. He's an international speaker, he's a high performance coach and regenerative health advocate. He challenges businesses to rethink employee well-being, leadership authenticity, and psychological safety. I like that term. It's a term I'm really enjoying lately. His story began when he quit a 27-year career in hospitality due to burning out. Lost, frustrated, and stressed and overwhelmed, he went on a journey of self discovery to answer the questions: who am I and why am I really here? And so his journey led him to focusing on his personal development, which has been a passion since he began speaking and coaching in 2008. His key movement of transformation came when he discovered how to breathe, which gave him a sense of peace, calm, and renewed focus. I really look forward to hearing more about this. Tim has developed powerful methodologies that provide practical, actionable tools that help individuals deepen self awareness, manage stress effectively, and foster stronger connections. Tim is passionate about regenerative health and helping people restore balance in their bodies. He specializes in the power of breath work to create emotional transformation and natural healing protocols that activate the body's innate ability to heal and reset the nervous system. Wow, what a journey! Tim, let's
Thank you
do
for that.
some quick icebreakers so we
Mm.
can get more into what we've just heard about you. Are you a health freak? What's your favorite healthy snack? Your go-to healthy snack?
Am I allowed to say dark chocolate? Does that count?
It's actually quite healthy.
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. So, yeah, it's. I think my go-to snack is actually very boring.
Wow, no ways.
Fresh water. That's it. Every day. The importance of fresh, clean, not tap. You don't want the fluoride and the chlorine that comes in there, amongst other things. Fresh, clean water, how vital and important that is. I've always known it, but it's only over the last sort of 4 or 5 years that I've really come to understand
Hmm.
value and the importance of it. Bit boring answer, really, isn't it? I'll stick to the dark chocolate.
Uh, yeah, very mundane, but I guess very important, as you said. And your favorite self-care practice besides breathing?
Meditation.
Hmm.
That morning ritual, that morning meditation, that time of getting out of my head and into my heart and just that peace. It's been a protocol of mine for years, and the value is can never be overstated.
Sure.
No.
Love that. And one wellness myth that you'd like to bust this afternoon?
Ooh, a wellness myth.
Hmm.
Jeepers. So that when you breathe through your mouth, you get more oxygen.
Hmm.
People think deep breath in gives more oxygen. It
Hmm.
doesn't. Breathing through your nose gives more oxygen. So shut
Okay.
your mouth and breathe through your nose.
Love it. Thank you so much. So, Tim, I mean, I know we've heard this long intro and bio,
Hmm.
but can you take us a little deeper, telling us a little bit about yourself and your journey into the wellness space?
27 years in corporate. Did the traditional climb the ladder, left school, studied, went into hospitality to travel. It was a huge passion of mine for 27 years. But then in 2018, I couldn't understand why I no longer could handle the pressures and the stress of life
Sure.
and business. That doesn't change. That's always going to be there. It doesn't matter what industry, whether it's
Mm,
hospitality with customers or the medical field, government, family, economy, weather. It's all these external stresses remain. But I couldn't understand why in 2018 I couldn't handle it anymore. It had been building over the years. And so back then, I could only see one solution: to quit. So I got out. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know what burnout was or brownout or any outs. I just knew I had to get the hell out. So I quit. And it
mm,
was the most difficult decision of my career, but yet at the same time, the easiest to make.
sure.
Because I knew it comes to a point, I believe it comes to a point in everybody's career in life, at some stage, you get to that point of saying, well, am I capable of more? Who am I? Is this what life has, is the only thing that has for me? And it's come to be known as the midlife crisis type of thing, 55-year-old, and you go through this massive breakdown. But for me, it was no midlife crisis, it was a midlife reset.
Mm,
A time to re-strategize and say, but who am I really outside of corporate? I had no idea. And why was I stressed? What was going on with me? And that led me on a journey of 4 or 5 years. No, I'm still on it now, of discovery. And that led me into the whole well-being sphere and understanding what happened to me and saying, if I now understand this, what can I do to the people who are now where I was back in 2018? That's become.
sure. Amazing. Incredible, incredible journey. And I guess now you're more familiar with brownout and burnout and all the outs, hey?
All the, yes, all the outs. But here's the Dr. Dineo, it's such an important topic. This I've just actually left a call with a client where he was explaining himself that he said, I feel like I've got no hope.
Hmm.
I'm not solving all the problems, but I'm still working. I love my job and I like the people, what I'm doing, but I'm disconnected and I have no passion. I'm not sleeping and I only see problems. I lie awake at night and all I see are issues and arguments that I want to have with people.
Sure.
And as he's talking about this, that was me back then. And I hear
Mm,
more and more and more. So where people are finding that they're turning up and doing the work, but are emotionally, internally disconnecting from what they're doing. The outside world sees somebody who's functioning, but internally disconnecting. And it was last year that I read an article by Professor Kibler from Harvard, where he described what he called brownout, a
yeah.
state of emotional exhaustion. And that is where I was back in corporate, because I hadn't burnt out. I was still functioning. And that was the gent who I've just been speaking to now. And as soon as I described this state as brownout, he said, that's me. It's the first time, he said, that somebody's understood how I'm feeling. And that's
Sure.
become such a pivotal part of my journey, is understanding this emotional state. Once you understand, you can help people reverse that cycle back to flourishing and functioning. Yeah.
Hmm. Amazing. It's said that sometimes what we go through is equipping us to help others, right?
So true.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah. The mess is your message.
Look at that. So you are known as the breath with alchemist. Can you
Hmm.
tell us a little bit more about why you've become known as the breathwork alchemist, briefly.
Here's a question for you. How old were you? And this goes to Dr. Dineo and anybody listening to this. How old were you when you first learned how to breathe?
I was 2 weeks ago old. How long ago was it when we did the breathwork session?
Exactly. So I was 51. At 51, I learned how to breathe. And that sounds a bit odd, but it's actually very true because we're not taught how to breathe, the power of our God-given breath and how breathing techniques can kill you or can lift you.
Sure.
And it was over my journey of my discovery while I was creating my professional pointer coaching company and the programs that I'm writing that I came to understand that our different breathing styles, how we breathe, how fast we breathe, whether we breathe in our mouth or breathe in our nose impacts how we feel. So if you change your breathing state, you can change how you feel.
Sure.
Lift you if you're feeling down, calm you if you're feeling stressed, and even wants to help you sleep. That led me on a journey of discovering that breathing styles impact your ability to think, to focus, to function, to release stress. And that began me on a journey of breathing. Who knew?
Who knew?
You knew, all new to me. And I've enjoyed the journey and how I see I can help people change their state very, very quickly. But here's the other key thing that's very important is the common breathing techniques that we all experience, box breathing, resonant breathing, there's various different ones. These, what I call a breath hack, are phenomenal for helping in the moment. But there's a deeper breathing technique, which is the one that you're talking about, called transformational breathwork journey, which goes in and resolves the underlying cause of the trauma, the negativity, the stress, and the anxiety. And it was that experience was my pivotal changing point, that light bulb moment of clarity. Another one I'm talking about. And when I went on this breathwork journey, it's a deep guided 1 hour breathing session, that it felt like a reset button had been switched for my mind, my body, and my soul. And I felt awake and had this clarity of mind for the first time in years. That's where the breathwork alchemy comes in. Yeah.
Wonderful. Again, your mess became your message. So, Tim, I mean, we've been in conversation for some time now, and one of the things you always tell me about is how companies are failing with their staff because of these outdated well-being programs.
Yep.
Surely it's not so bad. What is it that makes you feel that it's so terrible?
Well, I'm going to cut to the chase, straight down the middle. What is being done in workplace well-being and psychological safety doesn't work. The statistics show it. Discovery is showing that 63% increase in people over the age of 50 committing suicide. 63% increase in the last 5 years. Where Gallup survey results show that only 27% of managers and above are connected and functioning in their jobs. Only 27%. That means 73% are disconnected.
Sure.
Burnout is on a rise. Quiet quitting, people who just can't handle it anymore, like I, is on an increase. So the statistics are there. And here's the question. I asked this of all my clients with them doing a speaking engagement or one-on-one. Have you ever been negatively impacted, your health and well-being, due to workplace stress? You're pretty much guaranteed 90% of people are putting their hand up. That's the reality.
Sure.
It needs a facelift. And that's where Wellthy comes in, which is why I love doing what we're starting to work together in this collaboration to say, we need to bring healing into the workspace.
I love that. Any upcoming programs or initiatives we're excited about since we're talking about Wellthy?
So there's always things happening, whether I'm doing personal development coaching, which are long-term programs, 6 months programs about real integration for transformation, or programs that we're starting to create and to bring into the workspace where instead of having a keynote or somebody come and talk to the staff about well-being, bring the doctor's experience, the medical background with the I've done the business burnout stuff, and
Mm.
let's just create a whole new transformation and perspective on what is possible in the workspace. Aside from golf days or the annual yoga retreat or the fruit salad on the staff buffet for lunch, doesn't work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. How can people or companies work with us or stay connected?
Great question. So we'll make sure that in the comments or the chats below that are links. Otherwise, reach out to us. And this is a collaboration of minds that Dr. Dineo and myself were putting together. So DM us for a connection call to find out what it means to speak. And very soon we'll have our website up, and there's a lot more that can be offered. But in the meantime, it starts with working out what are your needs. Where are your team at right now? How can we help them in the here and now with simple daily tools that are easy to apply without adding more stress or overwhelm onto anybody in the team? So let's chat. Love it.
Awesome. That's it in Conversation with Wellthy today. You've heard all about Tim Wagner and about all the exciting things coming up with Wellthy. Let's do this again next week, same
Yes.
time, same place.
We're going to start diving a little bit deeper. So if you missed last week, I interviewed Dr. Dineo. So have a look on the YouTube channel or even on the LinkedIn. Get that recording. Find out who is this Dr. Dineo lady. Understand who we are, where we can then come in as a collaborative to really make a transformational change in your workspace with that psychological safety, that word again, and the world. And we'll see you same time, same place next week, Wednesday.
Adios.